Hello class, receiving students and teachers. Thank you, you may sit down. Okay, receiving students in class, I'd like you to listen very carefully to what I do, and then I'd like you to follow, all right? Receiving students? Okay. Okay, just listen very carefully to what I'm going to do. And after 2, when I count after 2, I want you to follow me, okay? Follow what I have done. Okay, listen. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, receiving students? Listen first to what I do, and then after 2, you follow. One, 2. Okay. All right, receiving students, let's try another one. Okay, let's try another one this time. Okay, wait. One more time. One, 2. Yes? Okay, all right. Okay, very good. Receiving students. Now, who can tell me what was the pattern in there? Okay, the first one. Okay, sorry. Let me try this one again, okay. What's the pattern? Receiving students? The pattern? Okay, the pattern is clap, clap, snap, snap, slap, slap. Again, clap, clap, snap, snap, slap, slap. Okay, that's the pattern in there. All right. Thank you, receiving students and 6Es. Okay, in today's lesson class, all right, our new strand is patterns and algebra. And our sub-strand is on algebra. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the pattern? What is a pattern? Receiving students in class? What is a pattern? Now remember, when I clapped 2 times, and then I snapped 2 times, and then I slapped 2 times, and I kept repeating. We kept repeating that pattern. What is a pattern? Receiving students, class? Okay, let's have Robert.
When something happens over and over.
Okay, very good, Robert. Okay, Robert says when something repeats or happens over and over again. That's a pattern. All right? Very good. Okay, so we have the pattern, like when you clap, snap, and then you slap. That's a pattern. And you continue. All right? It repeats itself. That's called a pattern. All right. There are many different kinds of patterns. Okay, class? Let's look at some examples of patterns. Okay, a pattern can be a group of items that repeats over and over in a row. For example, you have patterns of sizes. Class, look here. You have patterns of sizes, different sizes. Small, medium, medium, large. Okay, small, medium, large. See, it repeats itself over and over. That's a pattern. Small, medium, large. Okay, you have patterns of letters. A, B, B, C. Okay, it repeats again, A, B, B, C, and then continues. Okay, that's a pattern of letters. Likewise, what we did, pattern of sounds. Clap, snap, snap, slap. Okay, can we try that? Okay, go. Clap, snap, snap, slap. Clap, snap, snap, slap. Clap, snap, snap, slap. Okay, patterns of sounds. Okay, good. All right, you have patterns of blocks. Receiving students in class, patterns of blocks. First, you start off with a red block. Okay, you start off with a red block and then you add 2 blue blocks. And then you add 3 yellow blocks. Add 4 green blocks, 5 pink, and so on. So pattern continues. All right, pattern of numbers. Everyone look up here. Pattern of numbers. Here I have 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21. Okay, 1. What is the pattern here? 1. Why 3? I add 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, then 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 6 is 21. So there is a pattern in these numbers. Okay, in today's lesson class, we're going to be looking at patterns in numbers. The first lesson of patterns in numbers. All right, I'd like everyone to look up here, please. Okay, here I cut out strips of card papers. Okay, strips of card papers. And here I try to form a pattern, all right, using the cards, the strips. So if we are looking at patterns in numbers, you can also use the strips, or you can use matchsticks or different objects to help you make a diagram to form a pattern, class. Or you can also draw dots or diagrams to help you form a pattern. All right. Here I started off with 1 strip of card. 1 strip of card. Okay. And then I've used how many cards here? So how many strips? 4. Okay, 4 strips of card. Okay, or card papers. All right. To make one what? 1 square. Okay, and then how many strips did I use to make 2 squares? 7. Okay. How many strips did I use to make 3 squares? 10. Can you see the pattern in here? So 1 represents 1 strip, 4 represents 4 strips, okay, 7 represents 7 strips to make 2 squares. Okay, who can tell me how many strips will I use to make 4 squares? So first, remember 1, okay, and then I used 4 strips to make 1 square. Okay, and then I used 7 strips to make 2 squares. Receiving students, I've used 10 strips to make 3 squares. Who can tell me how many strips will I use to make 4 squares? So if you can see the pattern, all right, 1, 4, 7, 10. Receiving students, I'd like you to tell your teacher or tell the class, how many strips of papers will I use to make 4 squares? Jason is 3. Okay, Jason says 13 squares. Is it correct? Yes. Okay, let's try. Okay, we're not going to use strips of papers, but we'll just draw a diagram. Okay, so we said 13 to make 4 squares. Okay, let's try. Yeah, my strips is crooked there, my line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares. See? Okay, so 13, and it continues. So the pattern is there. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13. Okay, who can tell me? What is the rule here? From 1 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 13. Receiving students? From 1, how did I get 4? From 4, how did I get 7? From 7, how did I get 10? What did I do to form this pattern? Receiving students? Or did you just guess the numbers? No. There should be a rule. You should have done something to get these numbers here. What did you do? Starting from number 1, what did you do to get number 4? And then from number 4, what did you do to get number 7? Let's have Onea.
By adding 3 slips of paper.
Okay, thank you, Onea. Onea says by adding 3 strips of papers, okay, good. Or by adding 3, yeah. Okay, adding 3. So every time you add 3, so 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So that's the pattern there. In those numbers, the rule was you add 3 each time. Okay, receiving students and class? Okay, in the pattern of numbers, all right, you have a sequence, class, or a linear sequence. Okay, a sequence says, it reads, sequence is a list of numbers that form a pattern. Receiving students? All right, here is the sequence. Sequence, this is the list of numbers that form a pattern. Can you see? 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, and continue. That is a sequence. It's a list of numbers that form a pattern. All right, term. Term is one of the numbers in the sequence. So for example, number 1 is the first term. Okay, number 4 is the second term, all right? So these are called terms. Everyone look up here. Receiving students. These numbers in this sequence, they are called terms, okay? First term, you have the first term, second term, third term, fourth, fifth, and so on. Do you understand, class? Okay. Again, sequence is a list of numbers that form a pattern. So if we're talking about linear sequence, Okay, it's the same. It's a list of numbers in a straight line that form a pattern. All right, I'd like you to do this activity. This is what you're going to do. Your learning activity quickly. Number 1, find the next 2 numbers. Receiving students, 4, 8, 12, 16. I want you to find the next 2. Okay, can you do that now quickly? Find the next 2 numbers in this sequence. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Find the 5th and 6th term in this sequence. Who's finished? Who's finished? Okay, very good. Okay, that's good, yes. The next 2 terms, yep. Who else is finished? Okay, very good. Yes. Okay, those of you who have finished, the next learning activity, you are going to draw a dot diagram to represent these numbers, okay? So a dot diagram meaning you're going to use dots. Okay, just get your pencil, and then you draw dots, okay, to represent. So for example, 4, how many dots? 4, okay? And then so on. 8, so you just draw dots to represent. So for example, like this, like with what I have here, these strips, you're going to draw dots. Okay. But I'm sure you have all finished number 1. Okay, now you're on number 2. So number 2, you just use a pencil to draw the dots to represent these numbers, okay? 4, 8, 12, 16, and the next 2 terms. Okay, with the second exercise, number 2, you can finish that one later, all right? In your own time, you can finish that later, okay? But don't forget, make sure you must use a pencil use a pencil to draw the diagram, okay? All right, what's the 5th and 6th term? 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5, 6. 5th and the 6th term. Remember what term is? It's one of the numbers in the sequence. So 5th and the 6th term. What is the 5th term? Who can give me the 5th term? Receiving students? Helen? Very good. The 5th term is 20, and what about the 6th term? 20, and the 6th term is, class, everyone? 24. Okay, receiving students, 24. And how did you get this number? Sorry, what was the rule? Starting from 4, how did you get 8? And then from 8, how did you get 12 and so on? By adding 4. Very good. By adding 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. Okay, good. So don't forget, please, do number 2 in your own time. Draw a dot diagram to represent these numbers. Okay, your exercise, receiving students and class. Okay, number 1 and number 2, find the next 3 missing terms. Find the next 3 missing terms in this sequence. And then number 2, you must explain the rule. Okay? So the sequence, the terms are 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. And then what's the next 3 terms? Okay, receiving students, I'd like you to do that exercise. Anyone finished? Who's finished number 1? Okay, very good. Yes, very good. You finished number 1? Okay, then you explain the rule. How did you get the 3 terms? Okay, very good. Okay, good, very good. Yes. Okay. Okay, this one? By adding how many? How many did you add by? Okay. Okay, very good. Yes. Okay. That's good. Okay, very good. I've seen most of your answers and you've all got them correct. That's very good. Okay, the pattern from the sequence, all right? There is a pattern there, okay, which you are going to explain the rule. So what are the next 3 terms? What are the next 3 terms? Okay, Freddie? Freddie? Sorry.
21, 25, 29.
Okay, thank you, Fred. 21, 25, and 29. Receiving students, did you get that? So 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, 21, 25, and 29. Okay, how did you get, or explain the rule. How did you get 21, 25, and 29?
By adding 4.
Okay, thank you, Newman. All right, by adding 4, or you add 4 each time. Class, 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, and so on. Can you see the pattern? Every time you add 4, okay? So that's the pattern in this sequence. Remember, class? This is called, the list of numbers is called a sequence in the pattern. What are these numbers called? Terms. Very good. They are called terms. They form a pattern in a sequence. Okay, very good, class and receiving students. Let's go through our summary. 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13. 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13. Describe a pattern. What is a sequence and what is a term? Okay, I'd like you to do that quickly in your exercise books, receiving students. 1, 4, 7, 10, and 13. I want you to complete the 2 terms, and then I'd like you to answer these 3 questions in your exercise books, in your notebooks. That's your summary for today's lesson. Okay, with that, class and receiving students, that has brought us to the end of our lesson. Okay, in our our key phrase for today's lesson, class, linear sequence or sequence, receiving students. And in our next lesson, we're going to be looking at the second lesson of patterns in numbers. With that, thank you very much, class and receiving students, for your participation.